We're ready to go here in Japan in Suzuka for 8 laps of this infamous track. We have Black lined up in pole position. It's the first time he started in the top 4 here, and we're underway for Suzuka round 7. As it looks like a pretty good start from Black, and he'll retain the lead into the first corner as the cars bunch up into the racing line. And there's contact between green and lime and yellow and purple there as well, as Black leads us through the first couple of corners. And that's yellow spinning in the background there, going off into the grass because of that contact with purple. His bad luck continues as he has another first lap incident, one of many this season. He's now got a lot of work to do to catch up to the rest of the field. As we head through to the famous S's, Black and Cyan have a considerable lead over the rest as green goes into the gravel. And it looks like he might have been pushed off by someone, but it's hard to tell from that angle. And he's also beached, so he will not be finishing this race. That's the end for him, unfortunately. It's so important to keep your race starts clean in this competition, because as we've seen before, not too many people finish, and the longer you last, the better you'll score. As Pink and Blue make contact, and Blue's going to spin around, losing 2 positions. That's another first lap incident that probably could have been avoided if they were a bit more careful. No troubles for Black though as he starts his first race from pole position. Looks like he's done it a million times before, as he retains the lead with ease, building quite a big gap on the cars behind as well. It's confirmed there on the timing tower that green is out of the race as we head towards the hairpin. A good start from Cyan too, retaining his second place. He really needs to score well today if he wants to keep his championship hopes alive. Well, Lime having a bit of a spin and touching the grass, and Lime's going to spin all the way around I think, and he goes right into the gravel trap there doing a full 360, and it looks like he's also beached. That's another car finding its way into the gravel and having to retire from the race as Red goes a little deep there, and this invites Pink up the inside, and there's contact there, but Pink looks like he's made the place, and he has. I think I just saw Blue go off in the background as well, and yes, the timing tower confirms that he's also out beached in the gravel. How unfortunate for both those drivers. Just a simple mistake and their race is over. Yellow's making up some positions that he lost in the start. That's good progress for him. Let's hope he can continue it all the way till the end. So we already have 3 cars out of the race on this first lap, a very dramatic opening lap, but we still have 7 cars in the contest for the win, and I think anyone has got a good shot of winning it at this stage. As we go through 130R, and Cyan's losing it. Cyan spun around at 130R, a very difficult corner. He should be able to recover this, but it'll take a hit to his confidence, and he'll also lose that position to Orange. Similar to how he's losing the title fight momentum, Orange has very much the upper hand as Red also spins around, and Purple has to go off the track to avoid him. Good effort by him. Oh, and they're all losing in the chicane. All of them are going around. Cyan's off, and Pink barely manages to make it. Purple goes all the way around, and then Red also overshoots it. There must be a spill or something there, because they're all going off as Yellow comes in way too hot, and there's contact. Yellow seems to have taken the brunt of the damage there, but Red's managed to get away from the crime scene, but Yellow seems to be stuck, and because he's on the racing track, there could be a red flag coming our way here. As if this lap didn't need any more drama, as Yellow is parked up there and there will be a red flag confirmed. Let's take a moment in the race stoppage to have a look at some of the incidents that happened earlier in the race. This is the first lap contact between Purple and Yellow, and it seems that Yellow kind of just lost it on its own. How peculiar. Now we look towards how Green came off onto the track on that first lap and just sent it too deep into the gravel, and once you're in there you're not going to be able to get back out. But there was no contact, so it is Green's fault. Now looking towards the contact between Blue and Pink. Blue kind of hits Pink, and then Pink comes back and hits Blue, and Blue's the one that pays the price for it, losing 2 positions there. But probably his own fault. And here's where Yellow comes in and hits Red, and you can see right there that car is going nowhere with that tyre just wrecked like that and the suspension completely gone. Well, we're all set up for the second restart of this race, hopefully the last. Black still starts in pole position, but Cyan is down the order in 4th. Orange and Pink have both made up positions, and Purple did start the race in last, so it's a very impressive effort from him to get back up to 5th as we start again, and it's a good getaway from Black, but Orange is contesting here. It's going to be close towards corner 1 as Red overtakes Purple and Cyan makes a move on Pink, but it's side by side for Black and Orange as they go through the first corners, and Black seems to have inched ahead, but no, Orange gets a better drive at that last corner and will take the lead from Black. This is the first time that Black hasn't been leading this race as there's contact further back, and it seems as though Pink has been hit by both Red and Purple, and Pink and Purple there are going slowly. But as we look towards the leaders here, Orange is now leading the way, trying to get his second ever win in this series after the first win last race in Watkins Glen. It's been a good run of form for him. Black's still trying to find that first win. He's still got plenty of opportunity in this race if he plays his cards correctly. The race is definitely not over. There's still a whole 6 laps to go and a lot more chaos. With the way the recent races have been going, if you finish the race, you're probably going to score yourself a podium. If you don't, you're quite unlucky, as has been the nature of the last couple of races. Red is also making positions. That's really important for him to keep his lead, as we see pink and purple coming around at the back of the pack. They don't seem to be going slower than the other drivers, but pink's door is definitely hanging off, so there's been some damage there. But hopefully for their sakes it's only cosmetic and doesn't affect their actual race performance, because they have quite a large gap to go, as you can see here, to catch up to the other drivers in the pack. Both drivers haven't really been doing well in the championship so far, so it's good to see them have just a little bit of luck surviving that first opening phase, even though it was a bit hairy for some of them. But they've made it, and that's all that matters, because I'm sure there's still going to be cars going off and crashing later on in the race. But at least for this race start, we still have all 6 cars on the track and racing, unlike last time where we lost a whole 4 of them. We're watching Red here now, coming through into the spoon curve. It's been a good race for him. He's just kept it clean like he has done for most races, and he's managed to catch up to his champion rivals Orange and Cyan, who are in first and third at the moment, showing their class and why they're the better drivers. We can see Pink's door hanging off there. That's not good. As we can see the drivers heading towards 130R, which was a corner that gave a couple of them problems last time. Let's see if they can make it through cleanly this time. Orange has no problems there, and Black, what is Black doing? Black is losing it, and Cyan's also lost it. Cyan's crashed, and Black has spun. Red's going to pick up 2 free positions here, and if Cyan can't get out of the wall, which it looks like he's pretty stuck, this might have to be another red flag if he's obstructing the track. Black will be able to get going again because he just spun, but Cyan has crashed, and yeah, that's going to be a red flag because his wheels are hanging off. That's devastating for his championship hopes, because Orange and Red are now first and second. They're going to be getting a bucket load of points. And there's the red flag confirmed. So we'll be stopping this race for a second time in the first 2 laps. We haven't even finished a lap under full green flag conditions yet. But that little spell there, that lap, has really shaken up the order. So we're ready to go again with only 5 cars this time for the 3rd start of this race. We're lap 3, so we only have 5 laps to go. Orange now leads us off with Red, his title contender, right up behind him as we're underway for our 2nd red flag restart. Looks like Orange has gotten a good start and Black is slowing. Pink makes the overtake, but Black is going to hang it around the outside through corner 1. Will he be able to keep his position? And yes, he takes that position back from Pink. That's rightfully his, and he stays in the podium positions as they head through into the S's. Orange leading strong, not a doubt there. His racing has been full of confidence since that last win last race, and he's really showing similar levels of talent compared to Red, who's already impressed us so far this season with his 2 wins and many podiums. But Orange seems to be a new challenger for him, and it'll be interesting to see how that pans out and whether Cyan will be able to get back into a championship fight after a couple of disappointing races. Pink and Purple hanging around the back of the championship. They're both going to be getting some big points today if they can keep it on the track, which will help them a lot in the championship standings to that very tight mid-pack. There's only a few points separating a lot of drivers there, so any gains will be big, and they'll be scoring a whole lot more than a lot of their competitors in this race, because Black is really the only one near them in the championship. Orange and Red are so far off that they're finishing higher than most of the drivers around them in the championship standings. As we head towards the hairpin curve, a couple of drivers have struggled pretty hard here before. Orange seems to have a really bad launch as Red is getting right up the back, and he won't be able to make a move there, it seems. Orange has blocked it off, but that's troubling for Orange's pace if he can't get around that corner. Red will be noting that for the next lap and trying to get past him as we hop on board with Red here to follow him through and into Spoon Curve. Red showing his class as always to his new championship contender, and he's got a lot to go if he wants to pass Red in the championships. Oh, there's a bit of a wobble there from Red, struggling, pushing to the limit to catch Orange. This corner has been very tricky for the drivers, so I'm surprised none of them have spun yet, but it's bound to catch someone out eventually. Heading down the back straight towards 130R, another corner that's caused quite a bit of strife for these drivers. I think Red's had a moment here and Orange hasn't yet. Orange has driven through this track well. It's interesting how they all have strengths in different parts of the track and weaknesses in other areas, like how Orange is stronger through here. And oh, Black's off and out of the race. Black is in the fence, similar to how Orange went off, and another driver falls foul to 130R, corner that's claimed 2 drivers so far in this race. Thankfully, it looks like Black is off the racetrack, so it shouldn't be a red flag this time round. But another driver bites the dust, and that's only 4 remaining now after 4 laps. We're losing drivers faster than we're completing laps. Let's have another look at this, shall we? Riding on board with Black, we're approaching the corner and he hits the brakes and he just kind of loses it. Spins a bit, turns the wheel, and then he's onto the grass, and from there you can't save it. And once he hits the barrier, he almost sticks to it. A great shame for the driver who started on pole. We're halfway through the race now, lap 4 of 8 we're beginning, so it's been quite an eventful first half of the race. It's all red spun. The spins continue in this race as it must be very low grip out there. All of the drivers are struggling just to keep it pointing in the right direction, and he doesn't lose any positions for it, luckily, because pink and purple are so far back, but he does lose ground to orange, and he was really shaping up to make an overtake there. Let's see if he can catch that ground back up before he reaches the hairpin, because that looks like his best opportunity to make a move on orange, because orange's pace through that corner is abysmal. But red also seems to be the quicker driver here at the moment, so let's see how long it takes and if he can do it in less than a lap. Orange does still lead though at the moment with quite a big gap now, so if he can put his act together, he might be able to drive away and win this race without any concerns. The only real threat to him then would be a red flag, but with this many drivers on the track, it's seeming less and less likely that we'll have another incident like that. Pink acing that corner and purple taking quite an odd line through there, but he still makes it through nonetheless. We still got to remember that this battle between pink and purple, although it is at the back of the race, is for a podium position because of the lack of drivers that are on the track at the moment. So for purple, this is crucial to get back into the fight because he's at the back, and for pink, he also needs points desperately because he's had a pretty rotten run of form here as red almost shapes up for a move, but orange defends again. It's a good effort of defense, but it won't last long if red can keep on doing that every lap. It's only a matter of time before red takes the lead. Also, it was very impressive that red was able to catch up that fast, so it obviously has so much more pace in the tank at the moment compared to orange, because that was only about half a lap, where he gained maybe 3 or 4 seconds, so orange really needs to watch his back here if he wants to keep that lead in the race, especially through that hairpin area, because that seems to be the most vulnerable spot for him in terms of overtaking, where red has the biggest advantage, and you can see pink and purple are just way off the pace here compared to red and orange, who are in another league, especially red. Heading down the back straight here, red is lost a bit of ground from orange through this lap, but I'm sure he'll catch it up pretty quickly. As we can see, black there stranded on the side, an unfortunate end to his race, but he didn't cause a red flag. As you can see, red just gaining so much through the low speed corners there, really is a strong suit of him, and you can see pink just clambering over the curbs there, not really caring about track limits, but they do have set areas where they're allowed to and where they're not allowed to go, so just a little bit of curb riding isn't going to hurt anyone here. We're on to lap 5 of the race here, and it's really shaping up to be a slow burner here at the end there. I'm sure we're going to get some action, but in the meantime it's been a bit slow with orange and red in their battle and pink and purple also in their own separate battle respectively, all fighting for the podium here. Red seems to have the most pace, but he can't really find too many spots where he can actually put a move in to overtake, so that hairpin has become the crucial part of the lap, and if he can put it together, I'm sure he'll be able to get past orange swiftly and easily. I hope there isn't contact though, because when there's a pace difference in cars, there's always the chance of an incident. But this is also very crucial for the championship standings. If red can win, then he'll extend his gap over both cyan and orange and get one step closer to winning the championship. But if orange can win, then he'll extend his gap over cyan and get right up close to red. The points difference will be less than 10 as we head towards the ever more important hairpin. We're riding on board with red so we can watch to see how he approaches it. A little bit of a slide there, but that's okay. Bit of a lock up from orange, and he takes the low line and then comes through, and he just has more pace on exit, and there's contact. Red hits the back of orange and he isn't able to get past, or is he? No. Excellent defense by orange, again parking his car right where he needs to be. If he can keep this up for just another couple of laps, then he might just maybe be able to secure the win over the faster red as pink and purple come through, but hopefully there isn't any meaningful damage on the cars through that contact there, as we see a nice little aerial shot of the spoon curve, and all the cars are kind of getting just that little bit closer. Pink and purple have been able to catch up a little bit with all of the battling that red and orange are doing against each other, but it's still clear who's the fastest two of the bunch. If you're still watching at this stage, please, because you're dedicated enough of a fan, let me know who you go for, what colour you cheer for, and if you don't cheer for a colour, please do, because it'll make these videos much more entertaining when you have someone to root for. And I just want to see how many people are watching and actually following the series. As we head through the chicane, red goes a little deep. That'll hurt his chances of catching up to orange. And orange also struggling there, as pink takes his usual line through the chicane. Oh no, he obeys track limits there, and purple's the one that cuts the corner this time. So it's really any way you want to go, you can go at the moment as we start the 6th lap. There's only a couple more laps left for red to get past orange here in this race. Or will orange be able to secure his 2nd win in a row in the series as they make their way through the first couple of corners here? Red following eagerly onto orange. The S's aren't usually known for an overtaking opportunity, but if red has such a big pace advantage, then he might be able to make something happen. You can see he's gaining through every corner here as he gets back up to speed with orange. And he really needs to get close right now, because coming up very shortly is the hairpin, which is the overtaking spot of the track this time around. But red also has to be mindful of the championship, just in case things go awry and he crashes. He still is guaranteed some points, at least 12, because that's what you get for 4th. But he doesn't want to throw away points if he doesn't need to. He's already scoring 18 points, which is enough to keep the lead of a championship, but probably not comfortable as well, as pink is starting to pull away a bit from purple here, approaching red and orange, which is impressive considering how fast they're going. So some surprising pace late in the race for pink. Red passes underneath the bridge of the crossover in the track, getting close to that hairpin corner where he's been trying to get past orange for quite a couple of laps now. And you can see he's just closing in. He takes a bit of a different line, a bit of a kink to the right there, and orange is just struggling on the exits. We hop on board, and there's contact again, and this time red will be able to sneak past, and red takes the lead of the race on lap 6 here, and orange is left in the dust. Whether he'll be able to get that position back, I'm not sure, but finally red gets that overtake down on orange and is able to drive forward into the distance and hopefully build a gap to secure the win for himself, the 3rd win, and obviously the most wins for any driver if he does that. So there's a little bit of contact at the start as we're watching the replay here, but then he's just able to sneak through on the inside. Orange wasn't able to defend it that time, and it's too easy for red with that pace advantage that he's got, and he'll just slide on through into the lead. And he's already building quite a significant gap on orange here, or at least more than orange had on red. So, and orange is spinning, and it's gone from bad to worse here in Suzuka for orange, as he goes all the way to the back and has to stop and wait so he doesn't get hit by the other drivers. There's been a couple of near misses so far this race, with drivers rejoining after leaving the track, and it's been quite concerning to watch actually. But there hasn't been any unnecessary or stupid crashes yet with unsafe rejoins, so we're all good there. And red is skidding through, and is he going to spin? He is going to spin. So that means that pink will come through and be just gifted the lead after both of the drivers ahead have a spin, as there's very nearly more contact there with red. And purple has hit red in the back, and they're both sent spinning off. How dramatic. Purple should have been watching where he was going there, but also equally red shouldn't have been going slowly on the racing line. And pink is just going to drive away with the lead of this race as orange hits purple and spins them around to make things worse and takes both positions, as both purple and red attempt to get going, and it seems as though purple's going pretty slowly and red able to drive away without any visible troubles, only cosmetic damage to him. But now pink leads by an absolute country mile. All he needs to do here is not screw up and keep it on the road, and he should be in line for his 2nd ever victory, again coming into fruition through the mistakes of red. As you can see, orange there trailing in the distance, not too far back, but there's a considerable gap to close. Even though orange and red are the faster drivers, they have had incidents which might be hindering their pace, but they will attempt to catch up to pink, as there is purple going very slowly, and if purple gets lapped, they will be disqualified. Well, not disqualified, but not be able to finish the race and be counted as a DNF, as pink gets a bit on the grass there and is struggling through that corner, taking a wider line than he should and having to stop to recorrect himself. He can't have too many more mistakes like that, or else red and orange will catch him at a rate of knots with the pace that they have. With just 2 more laps in this race, the whole dynamic has been flipped on its head now, with pink leading and orange and red chasing down, and purple probably at this stage out of the race. So now it's really a 3-horse race to the end of the line where they all have a good shot of winning, and there's another mistake from Pink going just a little bit wide at spoon curve there with, oh, that's an amazing shot as we see him drive down the back straight. And here comes Red going past the marshal post there and trying to gain that ground back. Him and Orange are both going as fast as they can in order to get that win back that they probably deserve a bit more. It'll be interesting to see if that pace advantage that they have will be enough to catch up to Pink or not. Will Pink have the victory here, or will the champions be able to catch up? And oh, it's another mistake going too deep into chicane, and that'll again invite Orange and Red just to get that little bit closer now. Let's see how far away they are. Can we hear them now? We can see Orange entering the chicane now, so still a little bit to go on this last lap here. If Pink keeps on making mistakes like they are, then there might be a shot for Orange and Red, but if Pink can keep it clean, then I think the victory is theirs. The last lap has started here as we go past the slow Purple. That is Purple out of the race, unfortunately. Still strong points in 4th. That'll help their case at the bottom of the table. But Orange and Red are hunting down Pink as fast as they can through this last lap. All Pink needs to do is keep it clean and keep it on track. And Pink spun! As I was saying that, Pink has gone around. Commentator's curse. How unfortunate. Orange is now right on the back of Pink. Pink still manages to keep the lead at this stage, but another mistake will cost them the win, with the added pressure of Orange and Red breathing down the neck of Pink here and adding a whole lot more pressure, making that mistake ever more likely now. All 3 drivers still have a chance to win this race, even on the last lap, and the faster cars are at the back with the slower cars at the front. How exciting. Let's look at the replay to see what happened to Pink. And just a bit of oversteer, and that sent the car fishtailing and eventually all the way around. Pink rushing to get their car spun around in time so that it won't get overtaken by Orange, who will come into shot just about now. There he is. You can't keep on doing that, Pink. There's been a lot of mistakes in these last couple of laps. Pink definitely feeling the pressure, and Red's also quite close now. All of the drivers only separated by a little bit as we jump back to live footage, and we're coming down into the hairpin here. Whoever does this corner the best will probably win the race, as Red has a stinker. Red goes really deep, and Orange has an amazing exit on Pink, and Orange is right behind Pink, trying to get that position. Desperate measures, going for a gap, and there's contact, and Pink's going to get spun around, and Orange will take the lead of the race in the most controversial manner, and Pink gets sent right to the back of the field. How dramatic. Orange leads the race with only spoon curve 130R in the last chicane to go. Orange, if he can keep it clean, will probably win this race, but is it fair? Tell me, guys, what do you think? Is Orange allowed to do that despite Pink being slower? Who's at fault? Who should win the race? At the moment, Orange looks like he's in the lead. Again, it's been a strong performance last race and this race as he heads down the back straight. He's been dominant right throughout this race and just making his way up the field from 5th on the grid. No one's really been able to give an answer to him except for Red, but of course Red has made a mistake. So in the end here, as Orange enters the final chicane, it goes a little bit deep, but that's okay because he's got a big enough gap. Orange will come over the line as the first driver here in Suzuka. Orange wins the Suzuka race here. Red comes in home for 2nd, and Pink will have to settle for 3rd. Unfortunate for Pink. Could have won the race, but Orange beat him there. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. That was quite the crack for a race as we look at the overall standings now. Red will extend that lead over Cyan, but Orange is now the new championship protagonist. He's gained 25 points and is now on 100 total, overtaking Cyan in the championship, who only gets 8 points and is 16 behind Orange. He'll have to do better next race to catch up to the leading couple and be back into the fight for the championship. Black gets up to 4th. He makes 2 positions in that very close midfield despite only becoming 5th. Blue stays where he is on 62 points. Lime loses 2 spots. Pink gains 2 spots. And he's just 1 ahead of Green, who is tied with Yellow there with 57 points apiece, tied for 8th. And Purple is still last at the back with 50 points, but at least Purple is in range with that 4th position. That really helps his cause in the championship. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's race. Make sure you check out the rest of the races and also subscribe so you'll be notified when the next one comes out. But until then, goodbye.